What does the Bible say about repetitive prayer? Now, you've probably listened to prayers that seem to have no soul to them. They are repetitive, said in much the same way that a child might say something that they memorized, like the Pledge of Allegiance. So, what does the Bible say about this? Should we be aware of the nature of our prayers? And is it something more than just the repetitive nature of them? Let's see what the Bible has to say about it.
I promise that as you ponder what you study, the windows of heaven will open, and you will receive answers to your own questions.
The Bible distinguishes between vain repetitions and persistent, heartfelt prayer. It also encourages us to pray always. So there seems to be something more than just the repetitive nature of prayer, the persistent nature of prayer that is at stake here. One of the biblical definitions of vain repetitions is meaningless, formulaic, or faithless babbling. Jesus prohibits these vain repetitions, but he encourages these persistent, heartfelt prayers. In Matthew 5 we read, "And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners, to be seen by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. And when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words." In another translation, it says it like this, "And when you pray, do not use vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they will be heard for their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him." There's a key right there. This then is how you should pray. "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one." These scriptures are taken from the NIV. In another part of the Gospels, Luke chapter 18, we learn this about some parables that Jesus shared with his disciples. It says this, "Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, 'In a certain town there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared what people thought. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with a plea, "Grant me justice against my adversary." For some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, "Even though I don't fear God or care what people think, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually come and attack me." And the Lord said, "Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth?" So the widow in this parable uses persistent, heartfelt pleading with the judge. And the judge, the wicked judge, in order to not be wearied, tries to comply. But Jesus says, "Your Father in heaven who loves you so much, will he not do better than this wicked judge?" Encouraging the faithful to send their prayers towards our Father in heaven with a persistent, heartfelt manner. In the next verse, we read about the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, and it goes like this. "To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. 2 men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, 'God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give 1/10 of all I get.' But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, 'God, have mercy on me, a sinner.' I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." In Matthew 26 we read, "Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, 'Sit here while I go over there and pray.' 3 verses later in 39 it says, "Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, 'My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will.' 3 verses later, He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." And then 2 verses later, "So he left them and went away once more and prayed the third time, saying the same thing." So Jesus shows us an example here of repetitive prayer. But his prayer was not a vain repetition. It was not meaningless. It was sincere and it was heartfelt. And that's the great distinction here. It's not about the repetition as much as it is about the heartfelt and sincere nature of the prayer. In Psalm 136 we read, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords. His love endures forever." His love endures forever is said 26 times in this psalm. Very repetitive. But when read and said in a heartfelt way, it becomes a very powerful example of a righteous prayer. Ultimately, the Bible warns us against treating prayer as like a magic formula, where if we say the right words, then poof, the right result will happen. It emphasizes that God knows what we need before we even ask. And therefore, he's measuring the nature of our heart. That it is okay to be vulnerable, to be genuine, to be very real with God who sees and knows all things. And to pray and build a relationship with our Divine Father. In my personal experience, I have found that mindfulness prepares me to have a more sincere and heartfelt prayer in my mornings. If I wake up and go right into my prayer, I find that my mind is bombarded by thoughts of the day, by my schedule, by pressures at work, by pressures of family and friends and whatnot. And with these pressures clouding in my thoughts, I find that my prayers are prayers of pleading. Please help me solve this problem. Please help me solve this problem. But if I will take time in the morning to be still, to just allow my mind to process, after 15 to 20 minutes, there's a certain measure of clarity that then happens. And I find that my heart opens up in gratitude to this God who's brought great blessings into my life. I find that I am praying to thank God for the family and friends and clients and wonderful people in my life who affect me for good and who allow me to influence them for good. And this prep before I pray has been a great tool for me in helping me to have more heartfelt and sincere prayers. If you like this topic, you may be interested in this longer episode that we filmed called "What are the differences between the Bible and the Book of Mormon?" Check it out.